So my first question is about sales and creative salespeople. These days, organizations want to have disruption, want to have a lot of innovation in sales department, but do organizations really want creative salespeople?
I think organizations think they want creative salespeople, but when they get them, they have no idea what to do with them. And this is in many fields, because the true creatives are rule breakers, they are reframers, they do things beyond the established practices. And most of our organizations and our leadership structures aren't made for these kinds of disruptors. So it's a balance. The best leaders know to get in these kinds of creatives, get in these kinds of dubious characters who rethink things, and let them get about their business. But unfortunately, not everyone in our organization is a great leader, so you'll end up with these people who say they want creative salespeople up until the point they actually start being creative, and then they start reining them in with KPIs and process charts.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, and I think we have to be open about that fact.
And these days, AI is, of course, on everybody's lips and minds. And in regards to salespeople being creative, that's one thing that whenever they actually try to find new ways how to use new technology to help themselves better and find new directions, new methodologies. So do you think that kind of also correlates with organizations not going immediately forward with AI and all the innovation because they are in some way afraid of those creative salespeople?
I think it's an interesting kind of dilemma, really, because AI will make some salespeople better than ever. It will automate some mediocre salespeople, and it will be the death of very, very clumsy salespeople. So I don't think we can talk about AI and sales as one thing. It's a multi-dimensional thing with many dynamics in play. Overall, I think that companies are very schizophrenic in their approach to AI. They're happy to see it deployed in a limited sense, but really afraid of it in a general sense. And in that sense, the creative salespeople you're talking about are a danger to the corporation as it is today, because they're saying, listen, with AI, we can break silos, we can smooth over processes, we can automate a lot what today is controlled by managers. So I think it's dangerous times we're living in.
But there's probably a big difference between a huge corporation and a small company, right? In that regard.
There is. And I think that when we look people-wise, we will look towards more mid-sized companies and small companies in the future. I think the huge conglomerates are actually those at most risk for true AI disruption, because they are the ones with lots of layers that can be automated, lots of people basically project managing everyone else. And that is, of course, also why corporations are so afraid of this kind of change, because the way it challenges the very core corporate logic. And when you then have a salesperson realizing, hey, why do I even need the corporation? I can do this on my own with a set of agentic AI. That is a real challenge to the middle managers and the project managers and the key account managers. So many
the middle management.
So many corporates are just festooned with.
So the big question is, what happens to the average salespeople when AI writes our follow-up emails, fills out CRM systems, and do all the dirty work, let's say?
I think if you're average at anything, these are very challenging times. I think a lot of average people will see their roles diminished, their salaries diminished, their need diminished. If all you are good for is filling in a report or writing a standard follow-up email, why would I hire you? But that also means that a lot of these people who've spent time on average tasks now need to think about, what could I achieve by automating this, which I don't love and
Yeah.
I'm not even necessarily good at, and instead do things that matter, like reaching out to more people, like building stronger networks, like thinking about what does care mean in this new automated age? What does true customer centricity means in this age? And a lot of the talks at this conference and these seminars have been about this, have been about what are the things we can strengthen now that average will be automated.
So for the salespeople that are listening to this video, what would you say are the top skills that right now salespeople should nurture in themselves that are not connected with technology?
I would group them a little. So on one hand, there are the, let's call, empathetic skills. There we can see trust building. So how do you actually make somebody trust the company? That is a human level thing. Empathy, as in understanding the customer, even sometimes understand the customer better than the customer understands him or herself. That's where some of the notions about customer centricity comes in, about these, let's call them soft skills, even though I don't like the term. But the other, it's what I would kind of call challenger skills, or even kind of the forbidden skills of truly rethinking the way we work, of trying to transform work, of saying, what happens if we do this, even though everyone says it's a bad idea?
So it's curiosity.
Curiosity is part of it, but I think courage is a bigger part of it. The reason the corporation has survived for so long is the corporation's safe. Companies are safe, titles are safe, education is safe. But now comes this technology, call it AI, call it automation, call it the algorithm, call it what you will. It comes and challenges safe, because anything safe can be explained, can be automated, can be structured in that sense.